And as we previously reported, several St. Louis County commissioners signed non-disclosure agreements involving that data center. That created a lot of public pushback.
Yeah, tonight we're taking a closer look at NDAs, what they are, and their use in business and elected leaders. Northern News Now's Kyrie Johnson is hearing from a lawyer and a member of the business community tonight. Kyrie, what are you learning?
Yeah, Dan and Laura, that's right. I'm here at the proposed site for the data center. And if you take a look behind me here, you can see that sign. It reads, "No data center, no rezone." It's on Midway Road. There's a bunch of signs along this road, and a big factor in the community opposition we've seen stems from 3 of the St. Louis County commissioners who signed NDAs on the topic, leading to additional criticism surrounding the data center. NDAs, otherwise known as non-disclosure agreements, come from many different contexts, but always require a party to not disclose certain information.
Non-disclosure agreements are used frequently and widely in economic development, both in the private sector with business and in the public sector.
They generally are requested by a business when they have legitimate trade secrets, usually when they don't want to become part of the public discourse while they're examining a site. Local business lawyer Miles Ringsred believes the NDAs are in place because of how early on it is.
My gut feeling is that this is probably early stages. Whoever is proposing this data center is probably looking at a bunch of different sites.
So during this early stage, 3 commissioners signed NDAs with Mortensen Development, a company that specializes in real estate developments. Ringsred says when elected officials engage in NDAs, there need to be specific carve-outs in those agreements to still keep the public informed.
Once it became public that they signed these, they should have been ready to basically say, hey, here's what we have. Be as transparent about this and explain it as much as possible.
Ringsred explains that while it's not uncommon for these NDAs to happen, there are ways for the community to work around them when necessary.
When there's really a dual litigation and sort of political activism side of things where you're able to pressure your reps as well as using legal tools to either halt things, get information, force environmental reviews, and so forth.
And Baumgartner says these commissioners aren't keeping government secrets.
More protecting the company that's interested in our area. And if we don't protect that piece of it during the fact-finding part of the mission, then we won't have people approaching us to do projects.
Both Baumgartner and Ringsred encourage people to try to understand that this is just one step in a very long process. There will likely be many more evaluations and meetings to come. One of those meetings will be happening on November 4th, and a commissioner tells me that the county board will likely be talking more about those NDAs and have time for public conversation. Live in Hermantown, Kyrie Johnson, Northern News Now.